If you've been following our channel for a long time, or if you went on a binge watching marathon through our videos, you will probably remember Dino Nuggets 741. Things didn't get any better for him since we last featured his paranormal activity a year ago, especially what happens in this terrifying video captured in 2022. Take a look.
It's down here. We got it. You smell that? Oh, it smells like shit, bro. Anything? There's a bunch of broken glass everywhere. Okay, you go this way too. Stay close to me. Fuck. Dude, stop, stay by me. It was glass. Don't move. I know. God, you smell that. Did you fart? No. It's so cold down here. It's winter time. Oh, fuck. Connor, stop. Alright, we're gonna make a run for it. Perhaps you were dying first. It's gonna just go shit. Hold on. Oh shit, good. Oh God, what? No. We gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get out of here. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
No, stop, man.
You locked us in.
I gotta go. No. We make a break. There's nothing there. Stay by me. Stay right fucking behind me. This is a bad idea. Just chill out. Oh shit, it's still there.
Why is it so...
What the fuck are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
You got your phone?
No, I don't.
Let's appreciate the courage of his son. The basement is haunted, but he doesn't wait for his dad to go first. Dino himself seems to have developed nerves of steel since we last saw him. After locking himself and his son inside the basement to prove that there was no way someone could get in there, they started exploring the place where he caught a shadow figure multiple times in the past. That's when the creepy ass shadow person comes to give him a paranormal punch in the face. While skeptics can quickly assume that there must be a jump cut somewhere in the footage, believers might go over it frame by frame, just to prove that there is absolutely no jump cut or any space for anyone to hide. But what about you? What do you think? Let us know in the comments, and while you're at it, don't forget to bump the like button and subscribe. Actually, don't subscribe just yet. We'll earn your subscription by the end of this scary compilation.
Hotels always feel a little bit off, like they just aren't your space. But have you ever thought that it might not just be the room's ambience? You could be sharing it with someone, or something. Kurashiro decided to look into this phenomenon after receiving a direct message from a follower about a hotel in the Kanto suburbs, Tokyo. The history is pretty murky, but apparently there was a brutal murder in one of the rooms years ago. There were even rumours that a man was dismembered and left in the very walls of that hotel. So with a little help from his friend, Kurashiro decides to perform a seance to try and communicate with whatever lost souls inhabited the room. But he soon regrets ever stepping foot in the door. After hearing something near the entrance, he walks over to check it out, and when he turns around, his hair stood on end. Bet you missed it, didn't you? Look at the doorway to the bathroom. And as soon as he sees it, it's gone. It couldn't have been a friend trying to spook him, because where would they have run to so quickly while the camera was down? What do you think happened here? Let us know in the comments.
Paranormal investigators Free Spires Paranormal had a 30-minute live exploration with their fans on an old and abandoned building in the woods. The exploration didn't go as planned, as they found no paranormal activity in that house. If only they knew the evil they didn't notice. Everything seemed fine until another paranormal channel spotted a menacing figure lurking in the dark. Take a look.
So this will be the main entrance into the actual hospital itself. Oh, hang on. What we got here then? These windows are intact.
A shadowy figure was caught moving as the camera panned towards it. Real Shadow Man or just a squatter? It's probably best to let you decide this one.
The ghost hunters from Realm Explore investigated an old abandoned mansion built in the early 1900s. A couple of decades after it was built, the villa with 49 rooms was converted into a nursing home for God knows why, and a while after that, the nursing home was abruptly closed with many amenities left behind. No one knows exactly why it was closed down, but many believe that it was due to the high number of strange activities reported from inside. The team at Realm Explore didn't find much at first, but after they'd uploaded the video, one of their viewers pointed out something very weird that they caught on camera. Bet you missed it, didn't you? Let's slow it down and zoom it in. It looks like a black shadowy hand vanishing into the wall. At first you could assume that it was just a shadow formed as the light entered the room, but when you slow it down a bit, you'll see that there's nothing there that could have cast that shadow. It also seems to only appear for 2 or 3 frames. Surely if something was in front of the light casting the shadow, it wouldn't just vanish through the wall without being visible on the doorframe. Or maybe you have another theory. Let us know.
The back garden is a place for lazy summer evenings, spent lounging around and drinking with family and friends. Except for this guy. Apparently, who once chilled out outdoor pad became a breeding ground for real-life terror. Shy Unique Legacy went live on Facebook a while back to try and explain some of the weird stuff he had been seeing sneaking through the greenery outside his house, but he managed to catch something much more compelling than an old story. Take a look.
That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just...
What the hell was that? According to Shy Unique, there had been multiple instances where he had been smoking on his back porch and noticed something strange slinking across the garden. He caught a photo beforehand, but it was pretty vague. So this video really solidified it in everyone's mind that something wasn't quite right, because how would he have faked a transparent demonic figure running through the garden on a live stream? From what we can see, this situation was never brought up on Shy Unique's profile ever again. So, do you have any hot takes? Leave them in the comments.
Quite a few people believe that spirits exist. Do you think that pure evil could be roaming the places we don't tend to look? Well, YouTuber Code might be the guy that convinces you that it is. He has been hunting down paranormal hotspots since May 2019, and the experiences he had while recording this video shook him to the core. He begins to tell us about the legend of the Faceless Man, an evil entity who once roamed the earth and was involved in the death of a bus full of school children. He hung himself in the shelter found by Code, leaving the area feeling eerie and hollow. But what did Code actually find? Let's find out.
Nossa, tem uma jaqueta, galera. Uma jaqueta. Uma jaqueta aí, ó. A entidade sem face tá aqui? Opa, opa!
Apparently, this rope is the one used by the Faceless Man. The atmosphere of the shelter is worsened by the shoddy state of it and the old, worn jacket left hanging on a railing. Could people have been sharing this shelter with a real demon and not lived to tell the tale? Further Code explores, the more he prompts responses, the more the horror unfurls. Knocking and banging echo louder and louder through the shack before we see the first sign of physical paranormal activity. Look closely at the peephole in the wall.
Eita. Vi alguma coisa olhando aqui. Caraca, véi! Não, tem gente aí, velho. Só pode.
Did he catch it? Something was shoved through the hole, almost like something was trying to hit the investigator. After that, Code goes to explore the outside of the shack, attempting to make contact with whatever violent entity was trying to hit him. When he finds nothing, he tiptoes back around to the front of the building, only to immediately jump out of his skin.
Olha lá, galera. Cara, que é isso? Caraca, mano!
What could have pushed that door? There is clearly nobody around aside from the uploader, and he was not close enough to the door to push it himself. His left hand was holding the torch, and it didn't even jerk. His right hand was too far, and also holding a gun. So how could this be explained? Let us know what you think down below. But that's not the end of this nightmare fuel. As Code bravely strides back into the shack, he experiences yet more aggressively haunting movements.
Aparece pra mim, representa aqui no K2 aqui. Ai, acorda, turma. Nossa! Ela se moveu, eu vi, galera.
Did you catch it? The freaking rope moved when we could clearly see his hand holding the EMF meter, and the torch on the other hand pointing at it. Could this be the spirit of the man who ended his own life communicating with us? Or could it be sending Code a stern warning? More unexplainable events take place, building up to the grand finale. See if you can spot this tiny movement in the background.
Ah, depois daquela corda ali, cê é louco. Oxi. Olha lá, mexendo lá, galera.
Did you spot it? The wooden beam was bouncing up and down on its own. What could this spirit be trying to tell us? Code begins to abort his mission, but when he gives in to the temptation of looking back, he couldn't look away. This clip is not for the faint of heart. Proceed with caution.
Caraca, mano. Ó, eu tô indo embora, eu não quero que você me acompanhe, viu? Ah, meu Deus. Cadê o K2? Vou guardar. Tem cobra aqui, galera. Ó, não me acompanhe, viu? Ai, galera, olha lá ele lá. Passou, turma.
That clip is drenched in evil. We saw there was nobody in the area, aside from the uploader, and the figure itself looks so distorted, so unhuman. Look again, carefully, and let us know what you think this could be. And when we thought it couldn't get any scarier, the faceless man shows one more sign of violence.
Ai, tá pegando madeira. Nossa. Ah, galera, depois disso aí eu tô vazando.
Could this video be evidence of demonic entities inhabiting the deep, dark parts of the world that we don't want to explore? Hit the comment section with your thoughts. School time is enough to drive anyone's head a bit balmy, but in this video, posted by Clip Horn 2, there may be something more than algebra scaring those kids away. The room is so open and barren. There's nowhere for anyone to hide. So who or what was gently unwedging the chair pile, and why? It gets creepier as we watch the paranormal investigator nervously circle the room a few more times. When the table shifts slightly. Could this be someone tugging at a strategically placed string? Or something a little more sinister? Whatever it is, it's wreaking havoc all around the room. Even the whiteboard is half torn off the wall right behind him. But when he goes to investigate what could be behind it, there is nothing but a smooth, untainted wall there. So how the hell is that board moving? After all that, he tries to play it cool, but one quick glance at his legs shows how much he regrets not bringing any spare trousers. Could this be raw paranormal activity footage? Or the result of some angry off-screen string pulling? Let us know in the comments. And while you're at it, don't forget to bump the like button and subscribe. Actually, don't subscribe just yet. We'll earn your subscription by the end of this scary compilation.
Leonrito can't seem to catch a break in his own house. After a while of living there in relative peace, someone or something began tormenting him. Whether chill time is being rudely interrupted, or his doors are swinging open and closed by themselves. It got too much that he began recording every time something happened. And boy, did he capture some hair-raising footage. Take a look.
Increíblemente no son las 3 de la mañana, 1:15 pasada, y sentí que alguien me observaba mientras dormía y me desperté. No sé si realmente era una parálisis o algo de eso, o era real. No sé. El muñeco ahí, la concha de su madre. Carajo, están cayendo las cosas acá. Se prende la tele sola. Tengo el control ahí. Tengo el control ahí de la tele. Se está moviendo cosas del estante. Se acaba de mover esa botella de ahí. Carajos. Eso. Hijo de puta. Me acaban de dar un golpe fuertísimo. Y se metieron ahí en el baño. Me dieron un golpe fuertísimo en la espalda. Bien, una sombra negra, no sé qué era. Hijo de puta. Hijo de puta, no me deja entrar. Bien, ahora de afuera. Hijo de puta. Estoy grabando porque me dicen siempre que hay alguien escondido y no hay nadie. No hay nadie. No hay nadie acá.
Looks like it was spectral shower time in the Rito household. The items flying off the shelves could be explained using a few of the classic methods, like fishing wire or mechanisms. But we can't spot any glimmers of any of that. And the hands? Petrifying. Can't know for sure if the door was actually locked or if he was just pretending to give someone a chance to get in, rake their hands down the window and run back out again. But this isn't the only paranormal activity he has managed to record.
Hace días que vengo escuchando ruidos acá. Ya no sé cómo... Se cayó de acá un botín. Ya igual no, a estas alturas. Miedo ya no tengo. Concha de su madre. Esos hijos de puta. El coche yo no lo dejo ahí aparte. Siempre aparece el coche en cualquier lado. Ya no sé qué. Hijo de puta. Benji, vine acá. Vení, vení acá. Se me desvanecen las piernas ya. Ya no sé cómo vivir. Ven, Camín, vení conmigo. No te vayas, vení. Quédate acá. Quédate acá. Deja de ladrar, quédate acá. ¿A dónde estás mirando, Camín? Vení acá, Benjamín. Vení acá. Andate, hijo de puta.
Again, we can't be sure there isn't any trickery behind these videos as it's very dark. The picture quality is a bit murky, and the ghostly face did look a bit like a Halloween mask. But let's look at another video of the window ghost and see if we can pick up on anything else. Not sure why he's recording himself sleeping, but that aside, one thing we can see from all the videos so far is that they tend to follow the same formula. Some stuff is thrown onto the ground, and an entity shows itself from behind his windows, which is strange because poltergeists don't normally show themselves every single time they're filmed. And why is it always in the room next to him? The activity happens in the same room he's in, but the entity will only ever be seen from a distance. The next video is the only deviation.
De vuelta se escuchan los ruidos en la... Ahí sí está. Ya estoy... Ya no sé qué hacer. Alguien que me diga qué hacer.
Necesito salir, por favor.
¿Cómo querés que te ayude?
Por favor, por favor.
Ya no sé qué hacer. ¿Cómo querés que te ayude?
Por favor.
Yo ya no sé qué hacer. Ya no sé cómo vivir con esto. Si están escuchando susurros, esto nunca había escuchado. Voy a acercarme para... ¿Quién sos? ¡Déjame tranquilo! ¡Ya no sé qué hacer! Ya no sé qué hacer. No sé qué hacer. Ya no sé qué hacer. Ya no me dejan tranquilo. Déjame tranquilo. No te hago nada, déjame tranquilo. Se están escuchando pasos de adentro. Me voy a acercar para que se escuche. Me duele el corazón ya. Dame una señal. No sé qué hacer. Voy a entrar. No sé si entrar, no sé, ya no sé. ¿Quién sos? Salí de ahí. ¿Quién sos? ¿Quién sos? ¿Quién sos? ¿Dónde estás? Vení para acá, Benjamín. sos? La concha de su madre. Eso. 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 Eso.
Couldn't spot any jump cuts, so no idea how the bathroom door handle was shaking like that unless someone was doing some fancy footwork to stay out of the camera's way.
No sé si entrar, no sé, ya no sé.
And while we see the entity not from a behind window this time, it's still far away from him, which begs the question, why did neither of them approach each other? Surely, if there was a ghost ballsy enough to do all of that, they would be more than happy to run up on you, right? And why was this the only time the entity was a few unblocked feet away from him? The only time he didn't run right up to it? Something smells very fishy here, but what do you think? Sure, these videos are terrifying, but are they real? Let us know your thoughts. After years of investigating haunted places, Chrysella Luna had plenty of opportunities to risk bringing something attached to her into the once quiet home she lived in. But it's only when she started hearing strange noises that she decided to research her house's history, only to find out that the previous owner, an elderly lady, had passed away inside the house and remained there for 3 whole days until someone eventually found her body. One night, while home alone, Chrysella heard what sounded like somebody moaning. In an attempt to debunk this, she started recording and checked the windows to prove the sound wasn't coming from there. But as she pans the camera around, someone, or something, decides to make a creepy appearance. Take a look.
La ventana está cerrada y esto que está pasando no es normal. De verdad me siento muy nerviosa. ¡Efi! Ay, otra vez, aquí atrás de mí. ¡Efi! Ay. Efi, por acá andas. Voy a apagar la luz. Yo estoy muy nerviosa y ya me voy a ir. Creo que esta noche no me voy a quedar aquí. Pero sí quería grabar este video. Y lo que está pasando no es normal. No es normal y sé que aquí murió una persona hace muchos años. Ya me habían contado esa historia. ¡Efi! ¡Efi! Vámonos. Vámonos. Pero quería compartirlo con ustedes. Después quiero hacer un video para traer uno de los especialistas, alguien que me acompañe para ver qué es lo que hay aquí. Estamos siempre expuestos a cargar con este tipo de energías. Estoy escuchando ruidos ahí atrás.
What looks like a creepy apparition can be seen walking in the background, and she didn't even notice it until she checked the footage later. The way it moves seems just like a person walking away, but could this have been the apparition of the elderly lady who passed away in the house? Or is there something Chrysella isn't telling us? Without being there to prove it, and considering the eerie vibes coming from the supposed apparition, it's hard to debunk this one. We've seen great videos from Chrysella before, which we couldn't explain either, so we'll leave this one up to you. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. Do you remember that horror game that stormed the internet several years ago?
Why searching so up?
Little pig.
Where you played a guy armed with nothing but a camera and some batteries, taking on a psychiatric hospital full of violent ghosts and monsters. Of course, I'm talking about the Outlast series. But those creatures might not just be pixels and rendering techniques. And these guys found that out the hard way while investigating an abandoned building. Take a look. This is another classic case of the thing wasn't on screen long enough for us to see it properly. You could say the speed at which they flipped the camera around was sketchy. But would your first instinct not be to get the hell out of there too? There are equal chances this could be edited, a prop, a crazy guy, or a real-life monster. But there's no way to know for sure. What do you think?
When moving into their new place, this person was ready for a breath of independence. What they weren't ready for, however, was a brush with the paranormal. But unfortunately, that's just what they got. After dealing with this horrific invasion of their property, they decided to take matters into their own hands and set up a couple of house cams, make calls, some petrifying videos, but the scariest one, weirdly enough, was the one where the least amount of destruction took place. A lot of people seem to think that all of the videos this person posted could have been faked with them standing behind the camera, but all of those comments were quelled with this clip. How the hell did that happen? At least now, you know nobody was behind the camera. Number 2. Schools out. Abandoned places are unanimously agreed to be some of the scariest places of all, especially abandoned schools. So when this guy was made aware of a location with an abandoned school nearby, he gathered all of his equipment up and got ready to find some schoolboy spirits. Except he might have accidentally stumbled upon something much, much scarier.
Bismillah. هذا وش هذا مصحف قديم في المكان. واضح هذا غرفة الحارس يا جماعة. حمام عزكم الله. في حد؟
Upon first inspection, he finds a moth-bitten copy of the Quran lying inside the building, which can only mean good things, right? Well, paired with all the stuff he was hearing, it seems more demonic. Soon after, doors start to close by themselves.
Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah.
But this specific door leads him right to a big pile of ashes.
Bismillah. شفتوا؟
He deduces that the rubble left among the ash must mean that the building had been previously used to house dark magic, which would explain all of the petrifying things that take place afterwards. It all starts off what sounds like footsteps wandering the halls right by him. then it all turns into his own worst nightmare.
في أحد هنا؟ بكل أمانة بسم الله أعوذ بالله. أنا بخرج طبعا من الموقع. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبشي إن شاء الله مرة ثانية كمل فيه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله. مرة الغرفة ذي مرة. توقعون هواء في مكان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله بكل أمانة أنا خرجني خرشة قوية والله بالأخير. بسم الله. كمان المكان. بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله. بسم الله. شفتوا.
The vibes were so off that he refuses to go up to the second floor, and he hauled ass out of there, never to return. Can you blame him though? By the way, last week's video was flagged as too graphic for YouTube, so we had to take it over to Rumble instead. Please do me a favour, follow us at rumble.com/goosepimples, where you can watch the ones that are too much for YouTube to handle. Number 1. Action. The people who lived in this house initially weren't planning on recording a horror movie, but when they looked back at the footage one of the cameras caught upstairs, they realised they had no choice. Take a look. The camera seems to be focused everywhere else, so why not on the figure? Or why didn't the camera begin to focus on the figure at all? One of the comments brought up a good point, which is that there is no shadow from the figure on the floor or walls, and that it seems to be a little girl, and they were right. Unless someone had immense cinematography skills, this shot would be super difficult to fake correctly. So who or what could that figure have been? Hey, don't forget, last week's video was too graphic for YouTube apparently, so it's on Rumble. Watch it now, go to rumble.com/goosepimples, but make sure you have the stomach to handle it. See ya in the next one.
Going to the hospital is never a particularly positive experience. The sterile smells, bright lights, and seemingly endless corridors are enough to set anyone a little bit on edge. But what this person saw on their patrol through the wards late one night amid the pandemic, when the wards should have been mostly, if not completely empty, turned out to be even more terrifying than anything else you could find in a hospital. Take a look. If you missed it, don't worry, it's quite hard to spot, so let's slow down and zoom in. Look at the bin with the red bag inside, and try your eyes up to the wall next to it and you can see the vague outline of a pale face slightly sticking out. On a closer look, the face seems to have a middle part with long hair and some kind of eye makeup on. This could mean one of three things. Someone stuck a print out of a creepy face behind that wall to freak out the co-workers. A patient was wandering through the wards alone at night and was spotted, or there's something much more sinister roaming through the building. Do you have any other theories? Leave them down below.
This guy knew his house was haunted from day one. After living there for over 2 years, he got pretty used to all the strange happenings, but no amount of experience could prepare him for this paranormal punch in the face down in the basement. The place he says was the hotspot for paranormal activity.
Like I was saying earlier, most of the stuff does happen down here. And I mean, you can't really. That's freaky stuff right there, man. Yep, that's what you call it. Freaks me out, man. It's giving me goosebumps. Boy, here we go with the door. Yeah, don't like that. Ooh, that's creepy. So that door always swings wide open and it stays open. It doesn't ever close. Stay like that. Oh, there you go. Let go of it. Oh crap, that's freaky.
According to him, before he took his camera out, he felt a presence behind him, and that's when the activity started in full force. Over the 2 years he lived in this house, he experienced a series of unsettling events, from saw blades sliding off tables to strange shadows moving when confronted. The whole house seemed alive with paranormal activity, but the basement was the epicenter of these eerie encounters. The door that was swinging open and closed was apparently an extremely heavy and thick oak door, one that even he, a self-proclaimed big guy, struggled to open and close. He mentioned that he had seen this door open and close by itself before, but this was the first time he managed to capture it on camera. So who or what was moving it so easily? Let us know what you think. For the past 7 years, Blessed Bastards TV have built a reputation around chasing the things most people run from. Ghosts, demons, cryptids, and everything in between. In one of their most talked about investigations, they visited an abandoned orphanage only to leave early when team member Jose claimed to have been attacked by something invisible. Weeks later, he went back alone, armed with every tool in his paranormal kit and a need for answers. But what he captured on camera that night, no amount of gear could have prepared him for it. Let's take a look.
¿Qué cojones, tío? ¿Cómo? ¿Qué es eso, tío? ¡Hola! Tío, ¿qué es eso? ¡Mira! ¡Para! ¡Hostia! ¡Hostia! No me creo lo que acabo de ver. No me lo creo. Estoy cagado, ¿eh?
¡Eres un demonio de mierda! ¡Hostia! ¡Eres un puto demonio de mierda! ¡Hostia! ¡Dios! Dios mío, escucha, Dios mío. ¿Qué son esos gruñidos, tío?
The door at the end of the corridor starts slamming like something's trying to tear it off the hinges. And while Jose doesn't exactly rush towards it to investigate, let's be honest, neither would you. That's when the footsteps hit. Fast, heavy, and heading straight for him. He bolts, because when you're alone in a creepy-ass abandoned orphanage and something invisible comes charging, sticking around isn't on the list of options. No one was there, but the sounds kept coming, and just as he stepped into the salt circle, a deep growl cut through the silence. Like whatever was following him had no intention of stopping at the line.
¿Estás jugando conmigo o qué pasa? ¿Qué quieres, la muñeca? ¿Qué es lo que buscas, la puñetera muñeca? Ahora está fuera del círculo. ¡Llévatela! ¡Ah! ¡Dios! ¡Hostia, hostia, hostia, hostia! ¡Ay! ¡Ay! ¡Hostia!
The reaction? Honestly, one for the highlight reel. The second that doll ripped out of his hand, Jose noped out of there with Olympic level speed. But all jokes aside, he didn't stick around to investigate, and the night wasn't done with him yet. While trying to pull himself together, he felt a sharp pain cut across his back, and when he went to check, this is what he found.
Dios mío. Dios mío, no sé si se verá, es que no sé cómo enfocarlo. Hostia. ¡Déjame en paz!
The scratches look super fresh. Paired with that growl, Jose took the hint and packed his stuff up. He never did truly find out the truth of what attacked him. All he knows is that it's out for blood. His, to be precise.
¡Déjame en paz!
Britt loves nothing more than her family and her horses. Life on the ranch is nothing but pure bliss. Oh, aside from the creepy ass cemetery in her front garden. As she spent more time there on her own, she realised that a lot of the animals seemed to be drawn to those gravestones. According to Britt, the same 4 cows would come, form a kind of circle around the cemetery, and just freeze, staying there for hours at a time, just staring into space. It isn't just the random cows either. Her dog Josie is also extremely sus about that cemetery. After she posted those videos of the animals losing it over the crosses, people began questioning her, wondering why the hell she has all those graves in the front garden. Looking through some comment sections, we were able to find this comment she left, confirming that she knew who was buried there, her grandparents and their cats. She gradually started feeling more and more unsettled though, because she started having more strange experiences. She would swear she saw figures inside the house, sensing some kind of presence that didn't feel at all friendly, which is why she was so freaked out when this happened, and she was able to catch it on her security camera. While collecting her takeaway order, something lashed out at her, and it wasn't the delivery driver. That doesn't seem like friendly grandparent ghost behaviour. She walks the driver back to his car. He was clearly a bit freaked out by those frozen cows, and she heads back in, only to realise something had set her burglar alarm off, and then something yanked on her t-shirt sleeve. You can see clearly in the video the grip on the fabric. It folds as if her hand were holding it super tightly. A few commenters seemed a bit suspicious that she just stood and waited in the doorway for a few seconds before she walked any further into the house. She could have been waiting for someone to get their cue so they could pull off this stunt. But how would they even manage that? Her reaction looked genuine as well. So what could be going on here? Do you have any ideas? Let us know any theories down in the comments. Doors are usually the prime suspect for bumps and thumps in the night, and those noises can often be attributed to air pressure. But in these scary TikTok clips, it's quite hard to rule out any paranormal tomfoolery. Let's watch.
What do you expect to make money, Julie, if you don't like to work? Julie, my door just fucking opened. What? No, stop. What the fuck? What the fucking fuck? Bitch, it's not even that late. Kevin's not home from work yet. What the? Oh my god. What the fucking? Oh. No. Oh! No. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What the Julie, you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. Oh! No. 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 What the?
No clue why he has so many doors, but one thing is for sure. Someone, or something, is deliberately wreaking havoc around the apartment. Commenters seem relatively suspicious that the dog did not respond at all, but others have said the events could be routine by now, so the dog is probably used to it. Plus, the way the guy reacts is surely not the way you would react after witnessing this type of activity. But this dude doesn't seem to be too scared at all. Seriously, there could have been a sea of people hidden behind the doorways. but nothing explains the sliding chair at the end when the camera pans quickly to give us a full view of the room, and there's clearly no one around. After this, the uploader decided to bust out the Ouija board, as you do. By now you can probably see where this is going, can't you?
Is anybody there? Is anybody there? What the fuck is that? No.
Jacob, we have to get out. We have to get out.
Something definitely sprinted towards the room, and they're probably lucky they managed to get the door shut in time. While the footage could be doctrine, the ambient noise and volume seems too genuine to be faked. Commenters were rightfully going crazy in the comments over the noise and the silly usage of that creepy board. Some lessons we can take from this are: you should never play around with Ouija boards, but if you do, make sure you close the freaking doors first. And don't forget to also close the session before you take your fingers off the planchette, otherwise you might be leaving yourself and your home vulnerable to more hauntings. But this didn't seem to resonate the first time for this TikToker and his companion, because they only went and did the same thing again in a new apartment.
Is anybody there? Can you give us a sign? Can you give us a sign? God. Oh my God. There's no way. There's no way. Dude, there's nobody in here. There's nobody in here. What is going on? Oh.
It seems like this noisy poltergeist has clung to them. While the apartment is all dark, we can see clearly enough to tell that there's no room for anyone to hide off camera. So where are the noises coming from? What do you think? Real or fake? Let us know in the comments.
There's always an underlying feeling of paranoia when the dark blanket of night covers the streets. Anyone could be out there. Indeed, anyone, or anything. Because this clip, posted by Paranormal, an unanswered universe, will have you worrying less about thieves and more about the other side. Either something spooky wants in on the loot, or someone's installed one hell of a burglar alarm. What was that figure? Why did the one guy whip around the second it went near him? Some people thought it was just the shadow from somebody else, but their shadows are way too distinct to be whatever the hell that was. True footage of shadow people, or some weird camera glitches? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
This terrifying clip was caught inside an abandoned building by two researchers. They thought initially that they were going to catch some really cool urban exploration footage, but when they started peeling back the dusty history of the place, they realised something wasn't quite right. Stumbling upon what looked like a slapdash ritual site, they decided to get a closer look. I don't need to tell you that they'll regret it.
नहीं यार बिस्मिल्लाह बंद करो इसको यार।
It seemed as though they unleashed someone or something into the building with them that had been bound by that ritual for God knows how long. Yeah, those screams and stuff could have just been edited in. But what happened after that is straight up unexplainable.
मुसिन वो देख।
What in the fresh hell is that? The whole thing just looks wrong. The legs are uneven and bowed in the middle, like they're old and worn, and the figure itself is hunched over, like it's been cramped up somewhere for decades. Could these guys have accidentally released that thing when they messed with the ritual site? Unfortunately, the compilation channel where we found this video has a habit of not crediting the original creators, so we can't send you to the channel of these two guys. If anyone knows who they are, please leave their channel name in the comments. Josh Robillard had always been a big fan of all things macabre, often making creepy doll videos with his collection, hoping to make his own mini horror series, but he soon realised that he might have invited something sinister into his home. It started out as his dolls moving on their own, something he could brush off as his mind playing tricks on him. That stopped though when he realised the activity had spread into the rest of his home. Things were falling, doors were slamming, and terror was creeping in day by day. But he realised exactly how demonic the presence was when he caught this video on September 21st, 2025 in his living room.
Okay. I left it on, so that's okay. Again, I don't want to deal with this. I do not want to deal with this. No, not again. Not again, not again, not again, not again. Not again, not again, not again, not again.
What the hell is that? A few weeks earlier, on the 13th, Josh had seen the same exact figure in a different place in the house.
Hello?
He calls the figure the Hat Man, which is a known phenomenon online among the shadow people niche. Often associated with either sleep paralysis or the use of sedatives, the Hat Man is known to visit people who have ended up caught between dreams and reality. He is not known for violence or evil, but he does give off a menacing energy, filling anyone who encounters him with dread. But how could he have ended up inside this guy's house and being physically caught on camera? Could this be some camera trickery, or a different entity who happens to cut around in a wide-brimmed hat, installing the fear of life itself into everyone? What do you think? Let us know. A man working the overnight shift as a caretaker in a large, empty school begins to get the distinct feeling that he's being watched. After weeks of strange noises and fleeting shadows, he decides to start recording his rounds. He was expecting to capture nothing, but on this night, something decided to make itself known. Watch the door panel at the end of the hall.
Se alcanzan a ver las sombras.
A dark figure slowly moving through the glass. It looks like a kid's head, but what would a kid be doing there at stupid o'clock? He said he was too scared to go and check, so he can't really put this down to paranormal just yet. But then he starts hearing movement in one of the rooms and gets there just before a chair crashes to the floor, seemingly on its own. He swears the school is locked down and he's the only one there. And to be honest, after watching the other videos he posted, we believe him. So if he's telling the truth, what just knocked over that chair? You can blame one of his friends all you want, but it happened before, and this time it was actually caught on camera. And why did the light under the door extend after the chair fell over? Shaken, he decides to step out for some fresh air, but the feeling of being watched doesn't go away. And that's when he looks over and sees this. Of course, his viewers jumped straight to the skinwalker conclusion. Sure, they give you an uneasy feeling and their movements don't feel right somehow, but to us, this deer didn't seem at all suspicious. What was it looking at though? Could it have sensed something horrifying going on in the building? Well, it wasn't wrong. After this, the guy's understandably more shaken than he was before and was looking forward to just getting back home and relaxing, but he soon realized that something may well have followed him home from that school. The same figure that was looking at him through the school doors was doing the same thing at his windows. While it could be someone pretending to be a ghost and running away when he came out with the camera, where would they run to? There's literally nowhere to hide in there. Do you think something latched onto him during his night shifts? Was the deer trying to warn him, or did it have something to do with all of this? Let us know what you think in the comments.
How do you think you'd react if you caught this with your own eyes? Let us know. This video shows us something that seems pretty strange to the mind of an individual. A ghost. But not any ghost. Suddenly, a growl fills the air, giving the man a serious fright. He freezes, staring at a horror no one would want to look at. Everything becomes